We good. I was in prayer, and while I was in prayer, I happened to look at my candle that I had lit. And if you're in a dark room and you got a candle lit, when you look on the wall, you can see the reflection. You'll see what that the candle is making. And as I sat there and I looked at it, I was saying to myself, I said, you know what? I said, that's light. Not the candle light, but the light that was projected from the candle on the wall. I looked and I said, that's light. I said it in the way it was just moving. I said, and that's life.
Huh? Moved. All right.
I saw, so I understood that, you know, in the light is life. But then I looked at it and I thought about it. I said, but whenever I blow this out, I said, whenever I blow the candle out, when the light goes out, I said, is there still life?
Mm.
And that's from that standpoint, but that's a question we need to ask ourselves on today. You know, our light should never go out, even in darkness.
Mm.
Our light should never go out. And my question to you on this morning for the for training session 2, like I said, it's going to be an open forum. We all going to be able to talk. We all going to be able to, because I heard you say in first session, I heard Toya say, you know, she has a voice. All of us have a voice. But you need to know the reason why, and you already know the reason why you don't use your voice. And that's the fight. That's what it's all about. You can hear truth. You can be asked a question so that you would be able to give truth. But whatever it is that's inside you that's going to cause you not to reveal yourself, or not to expose yourself, or not to let anybody in to know that there is something going on in you, or that there's something wrong with you, then whenever the question is asked, the fight begins. Mm-hmm. And the fight is that whenever the truth comes to you, you fight to stay blind. Mm-hmm. And if you were to say what it is that is the truth, your eyes would be open. Mm. Your soul can be saved before your eyes actually close in death. Jesus. So there's not going to be a struggle this morning. There's not going to be a fight if you want to remain blind. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to fight you this morning that you open your eyes so that you would be able to see and that you would be able to move forward. I'm not going to fight you this morning. If you choose to stay blind, it's not a fight. It's not my struggle. Because the only thing that you have to do in order to stay blind is to keep your mouth shut. Whatever comes at you in this open forum, whenever it comes, if you don't open your mouth, then you telling me that you want to stay blind. Now the Lord has really been dealing with me with this. We read the 23rd Psalm all day, every day, don't we? Mm-hmm. And we love to say that the Lord is my shepherd. Mm-hmm. I shall not want. Mm-hmm. I shall not want to lie. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. If he's my shepherd,
that's right.
If he's the one that's over me, if he's the one that's protecting me, if he's the one that's supplying my every need, if he indeed is over me and I am in his care and I know it, mm-hmm. I shall not want what? Whatever this world has to offer me. Mm-hmm. And in this world, what do you have? You have liars, you have stealers, you have cheaters, you have manipulators, you have deceivers. I shall not want. Somebody else give me some more. What what you want?
Pride.
Oh my God, come on, we rolling this morning because this is the way this open forum gonna go. I shall not want what? Come on, think about something you got and say that I don't want it no more.
Fear.
Hey, fear. What else? Think. Now, don't just be throwing things out.
Right.
Think about you.
Right.
And think about what has you. But you say that God is your shepherd.
My own mind sometimes.
I shall, but you, because you can throw off to the other side of that. If you don't want your own mind, then whose mind do you want?
I want the mind of
All
Christ.
right,
Amen.
come on.
For me, though, I want to be in such a way where my immediate thing is what God wants, not what I think at first.
So I don't want time lapse.
There you go.
That's right.
Man, it's all right with me.
Yeah.
I understand some stuff.
Yeah, I want the first thing to come to my mind.
So you want first things first, but that's not
First
okay.
things first.
So you don't want times lapse.
Yeah.
Lapse before you give
Exactly.
what the
right
response should be.
Yeah.
I
Does that
shall
say-
not want what?
Procrastination.
I shall not want what?
Greediness.
Who?
Greediness.
Greed. Greed.
That's right.
You don't want to be. You don't want greed. What else? What's in you? What's in you that you have gotten from this world and you hold on to, but yet you still say that the Lord is your shepherd. But and if He is, I shall not want.
Laziness.
I don't want a rush.
Amen.
But yet I do. Come on. What else?
Right.
Huh?
Stress.
You don't want trust?
Stress.
Oh, stress. I thought you said trust. I'm sorry, stress. That's why I was looking. I was like, my God. Like, what are we talking about here?
Right.
What else do you not want?
Lazy.
I know two things.
What is it? Speak.
Leech.
Huh?
Leeches.
You shall not want to be a leech. And what?
And then what is the one with
The parasite?
No, not the parasite. That's what leech kind of, isn't it?
No, it's
But
parasite.
you know when this soothsayers or like they hold you back.
I don't know. I'll take your leech, and then if you come up with that
He
word,
said
then
a
you can let me know.
soothsayer.
Huh?
Soothsayer.
So that's the word you want to use? I don't think that's what he
Oh,
wants.
okay. Sorry.
Somebody else has
I
said
said
something.
laziness.
And so what does laziness? Okay. With us giving all these things right here, because we understand that in God these things don't exist.
Oh, that's
In Him these things don't exist. And if we are in Him, these things should not exist in us. However, let's talk facts. Let's talk for real. We already know what should not, but yet we know what is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So even based on, even going from enough is enough. This is the question. This is really good to me this morning. How many of you are saved? Are you saved? Okay, you got your hands up? Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Okay. All right. Or are you working out your salvation? Yeah. When are we saved?
at the end.
When?
At the end.
In the end.
Amen.
And then you gotta work to get to your end.
That's right.
Amen.
Salvation is a work. I only want it, I only want it, and like I said, these are not trick questions or anything. We gonna do this thing this morning. We really are. Okay. With that being said, we said that the Lord's our shepherd, and we don't want none of these things right here, right? So, ooh, my God, ooh, I love it today. So, saying that, y'all got what you needed from that. Today, what we're going to train in, and it's the question that I have. The question is, what do you do to stop doing what you're not supposed to do? That's what God told me this morning.
Pray.
What did Mother say?
She said pray. That's the answer. Don't worry. Oh, I can't see the board.
Oh, Mother, you because we're going to speak. It's okay, Mother. I guess I could have brought it a little bit further.
Prayer is the answer. Don't worry.
What do you do to stop doing what you're not supposed to be doing? And the acronym for the word stop is to simply turn off practicing. Simply, that's just it. Stop practicing what you're doing, because if you're not careful, the longer you participate and practice in this thing, you're going to reach perfection. And if you reach perfection in it and you don't stop, then you don't know what you're in. Or do you know what your end
You
is?
don't know what it's going to be now.
You know what your end is.
But, Apostle, before you go further, when you say practicing, what do you mean by that? I mean, I know what practicing is. But...
Okay, so if you're lying, stop practicing lying.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
If you're cheating, stop practicing and stop continuing to do.
I gotcha.
And then sometimes with that, you have to go cold turkey. Cold turkey.
Just all at once. Oh.
Yeah. Cold turkey mean, Mother, like it's just like I give the example, but it's the truth. But it's a true example. It's the truth. Whenever I said I was saved, and then I was smoking cigarettes and stuff, and one day I really made up in my mind. I said, God, I said, if I put another cigarette to my mouth, I said, you can do whatever you want to do to me. I said, even if it means taking my life. And when that came out, Mother, I stopped smoking that day, cold turkey. But see, because I already knew that in order for me to be able to do that, I knew that I had to have something in me. Not only to go against that, but something that I believe could prevent that. Could stop me from doing it. And I already know it. And I always believe that God sat high and that he looked low. I always believe that he heard. I always believe that he was in all places at all times. I always believed that he was right there beside me, right? So whenever I said it, I knew he heard it. And I knew that at any time, if I continued to smoke, that God would have made it good.
Oh my God. That's true.
He could have made it good. So from that day I said it to this day, a cigarette, I went cold turkey. I didn't have to be weaned off of it. I just simply stopped practicing. I just turned it off. And I turned it off because of what I wanted. I wanted something other. I could not say that I was this and was still yet doing contrary to what this that I say that I was, what it was supposed to be, what it was supposed to contain, how it was supposed to be. Couldn't do it. What I was doing and what I was saying wasn't coming into alignment. The two wasn't one. And that's why I say so many times people can say things with their mouth, but God said, I'm only dealing with them in one place. He said, I see their heart. I know what they're thinking that they ain't telling you.
Right.
And in those places, then you find out that that's where iniquity abides.
Mm.
But we say that enough is enough. That's what we said enough is. We said enough was enough. And whenever it says too much make waste, the waste becomes toxic.
She does.
It's toxic.
All right.
Mhm.
You better talk that thing.
My mom, she knew, and she was determined that she was not gonna have or live in or live amongst things that were toxic. Because what? You're not safe in a toxic environment.
Okay.
That's
It's not healthy. There you go.
You're
Amen.
not. Too much,
Amen.
too much of what's on the other side of the board will cause us to become toxic.
My God, you
True.
talking.
True.
Too much. And the more we continue in those things, the more those things stay in us, the more toxic we become, until eventually enough will be enough.
All right.
And then we're going to find out. So when enough is enough, it's a level of someone doing something to us, and sometimes in those places we can say enough is enough because we get tired. However, when does what we do that we're not supposed to be doing becomes enough to us? See, we always looking at what somebody else is doing and what somebody else doing us, but when does what you do
I do.
become enough? See, because when you can get tired of yourself, then you can tolerate somebody
Come on.
somebody else.
Come on.
That's right.
Come on.
When you get tired of your toxicity, your toxic self, then you can tolerate. When you do what it takes, and that's what we're going to do in here this morning. That's what we're going to do. We're going to open it up. And the question is, how do you stop doing what you're not supposed to be doing? Anybody? And look, but whenever you say how you stop it, look, don't get religious with me. Don't get religious. Because God gonna be in it any way you look at it. It's all right. So just get truthful with yourself first. See, you gotta free yourself to tell the truth. Get truthful with you, and then answer the question. Because you know we're gonna have a good time, and I'm gonna show you, man, it's gonna be so good. Go ahead.
Well, who's you talking to?
Anybody.
Okay. Well, what you're saying now is basically what I talked about in first training with what happened to me on this week. I had a situation.
I don't mean to stop you, but I need you to tell me. We can go into it. Like, let me give you an example. No, y'all know. Don't play with me this
I wasn't
morning.
going to do the whole thing. I was just going to get to the end of it. The end of it was.
But you have to tell me exactly what it is that you have to do. That's.
Oh, well, what shook me out of it was, and not doing what was offered to me to do, was the fact that I couldn't. Now that I have made this my choice for real, I'm talking about living this life, what we're doing now, this program, everything that we're doing, I've made this my choice for real. I don't want to go in and out. I don't want to pretend anymore. I really want what is happening in my life to work for me.
Thank you. Hold on.
Okay.
So the answer is, and I promise you, I already have it written down.
Okay.
Wanting to.
Right.
See, that's all I'm asking you for this morning. Wanting to. And so in saying I want to, then that tells me if I say I want to stop, then it says that I want to kill the desire.
Right.
Come on,
There we
somebody.
go.
To stop pretending.
I want to kill the desire. I want to kill my want.
Okay.
Those are the that I hear you, but I need to hear, and I need to know that you understand, that you know what you need to do to stop doing what you're not supposed that you're doing that you're not supposed to do. Anybody else? Oh, y'all don't sit here and act like y'all ain't doing stuff. You is doing it, and the only reason why, if you don't open up your mouth and talk to me this morning, the only reason why is because you refuse. It's not time yet. I got a little bit more time. I don't want to stop just yet. I ain't gonna give my secret away. I ain't gonna tell what's going on because you don't have to.
And you know what, Apostle?
You don't have to, because you know what? I'm not going to fight you for you to stay blind. I just pray that your eyes open before they close.
Whenever you had began this thing, what came up to me was some things you just simply stop. You know what I'm saying?
Cold turkey.
Right, not even cold turkey. I told y'all one time about how I was praying for this one person for things to open, for things to be better, or for things to change and stuff like that. When God had already given us, He already gives us the ability to stop doing certain things. All you got to do is simply stop. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have to ask God for help. We don't have to ask God to give us the ability. He's already given us that. All we have to do is now make the choice that we want to stop. I promise you that's what came up in me whenever you first started this thing.
All right, so what you just now said comes to that word right there.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge.
Okay.
And based on what you know, then there's a decision to be made.
Exactly. That's it.
You don't have the desire to do.
We already said.
Yeah.
Oh, get the wrong thing.
It's not that you always it's not that you always say the wrong things, mother. That's not it. I want you to put on your listening ears. That's all. Because what you're saying, it has been said already.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, but anybody else?
Say, well, would heighten my awareness to be decisive and
Now wait a minute, because you said heighten your awareness. Let me say this about that, because in some places, in some things that we do, the heightened awareness of those things sometimes because of what it produced. Sometimes when your awareness is heightened in those things, your feeling to that thing, it becomes heightened, and you be like, and you really don't want to stop at that time, because you feel like either what a rush, or man, this was better than the last time, and you're always seeking another level of ecstasy, another level of enjoyment, another level of happiness. So whenever you say a heightened awareness, that's immediately what came to my mind. And in those places, people don't want to stop.
That's right.
They only want to continue on to see. Let me show you what I said. Whenever he gave me the word stop, and when I said, just simply turn off practicing, and then I wrote behind closed doors.
Oh, what you say now?
See, because we can sit here today and say all and everything, but we don't go in with one another when we leave here into the other places in which we go.
Mm-hmm.
Because in those places, then you're out of my sight,
Right.
and I'm out of your sight.
Right.
And then and in the dark, I said, light make it looks like it's innocent. I've been writing this morning. I said, see, when we come out here together, we're in the light now, so we all look like we're innocent, that we ain't did nothing wrong.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But then immediately when I wrote that down, I heard this. But when the night falls, my lonely heart calls. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. See? That's what came to me.
Now that's right now.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
In the dark, behind closed doors. We don't know. So we stop practicing in the light. But what happens
My God.
in the dark?
Lord, you be perfected in the dark. My God. No practice. We start perfecting stuff, ain't it? My God. That's
See?
sin.
See, this is all real today.
It is.
That's right.
This is all real. It's in me. It's in Danny. It's in Toya. It's in Mother. It's in Jay. It's in Kay. It's in us. And like I say, but today there is no fight if you want to remain blind. I'm not trying to pull nothing out of you. I'm not trying to sit here and wait for you to try to conjure up or to think of something that you think is going to be right or acceptable to say without it being the truth.
That's right.
Because you will never get help. You will never be helped. If you try to throw out a dummy bomb, you know, and the real bomb's still on the inside,
Oh God.
all you do is you waiting to get blowed up.
That's it.
That's right.
Don't tell me what I want to hear. And don't tell me what you think is right to say. Just tell the truth.
That's right.
Because that's the only place where your help lies.
That's right.
It only lies in truth. What do you do? How do you stop? How do you stop practicing? How do you simply turn off practicing?
When I said that,
Go ahead, you good.
the word I was looking for is being deliberate. When I say how
Being deliberate?
Yes, ma'am. Being deliberate in I'll say the moves that I make, the things that I do, instead of just sitting in a place and when my mind goes to wanting to do something, having deliberate moves instead of sitting here. Okay, when I become lonely or something like that, no, okay, what do I have set to do? I'll go get up and I'll get one of my books and begin to read a book. Just having deliberate moves to make sure that I don't just sit and dwell in that place.
So I just said a different occupation. In other words, you'll work at something else other than what it is. Your mind, your body, your flesh, your heart is trying to take you towards or take you into.
Amen. Yes, ma'am.
So you will find a different
route.
Yeah. I know that we've been saying and we have said that basically it's all right. I mean, do what you got to do. If you got to curse your way out, if you got to lie, if you got to cheat, if you got to steal, da 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 da. But when does enough become enough?
Mm-hmm.
And when does the Lord really become our shepherd? That the path that we're on, the path that we're now taking is the path that He has laid out before us. And then those things don't have to come into us. They don't have to come into us for me to feel that this is what it's going to take for me to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is what it's going to take for me to make it. Mm-hmm. This is what it's going to take for me to make it. When? How do you stop, Mother? Mother, well, let me ask y'all this. What are you doing that you know you're not supposed to be doing? And then just pick one thing, and then tell me what it is, how it is you're going to stop practicing it. KK.
Back talk.
Huh?
I said back talk.
Back talk?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you gonna do? You're gonna go to the dentist and have them to stitch your teeth
I was
together.
gonna say silence.
Huh?
I was gonna say just silence, but
Silence?
just be quiet.
Who? You say that, but even in being silent, it's deeper because your body still speaks.
Yes, ma'am.
Your head do, your neck do. So how are you going to? It's more to being silent than just keeping your mouth shut. You got to bring that body under subjection, just along with your mouth. You can't stump off. Can't be like Martin. Can't stump off. Can't be like them cute dogs. You can't stump off. So whenever you say, and I'm not telling you this because this is something that, and you know what? If you can simply stop practicing, turn off practicing that, then there should be another action that you now will have to start doing. So even with you saying that, you say being silent. Okay, so if that's what you have to start doing, but you have to also start being silent still in obedience.
Yes, ma'am.
Because all back talk is disobedience. All back talk is, whenever you use it in the term in which you're using it, all back talk is that, and that's something my mama would, man, this is what she would call back talk. You mean to tell me you gonna give me word for word? And then if we was able to keep our mouth shut and walk away, we still got called back because we didn't walk away right. We didn't walk away in the right spirit. We didn't walk away because see what was still going on in our mind was being acted out through our bodies. And that's one thing. You talk about being a living epistle in disobedience. We read you real good. Real good. So not only do you have to bring your mouth under subjection, you have to bring your body also. Because if you are in whatever, and if it's you talking back to your parent, your mom, your dad, whoever, an adult, you will have to be able to first, just like Danielle said in one of the things, you don't want to be able to what was that?
What?
You want to be able to give the right response right then. Mm-hmm. You don't want to have time lapse. And then you go into the wrong, your body will take you into the wrong thing, although your mouth is still open. Mm-hmm. It's still shut. Because you're still then in disobedience. Mm-hmm. So more than just being silent, being quiet, silence, it covers a whole lot. Silence means that you shut everything down. Your attitude, your mood, your body language, you shut it all down. You had your hand up.
But I won't say anything.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so that's you, KK. Jaden, what's yours?
Mine is focusing on one thing that I would say, but not focusing on what the person is saying to me.
Focusing on
What I'm about to say.
what you're about to say and not focused on what the person is saying to you.
And what I'm going to do is to help it is to just stop and just listen.
How you gonna stop and listen? See, because sometimes I understand that our mind do anyway. Sometimes it runs faster than the person's mouth that's before me. And I always, and before they can even stop speaking, sometimes I've already started speaking. So I would, to them they would have thought that I didn't hear them. However, I took a portion of what they said and I finished their sentence for them. I went to the end for them in my own mind. And that's why I was able to give the response. All the time, that's not right.
None of the time. That's what
Yes,
right.
it is some of the
There's no
time right.
time for that. No, it's not.
I know. That is. Some people. I promise you. It has happened. It works. It works. And I'm not trying to say that I'm trying to make it work, but sometimes people talk so slow before, and then they're trying to drag out, and you already know what it is.
And that's when patience has their perfect word. You have to
Yes, but whenever they are trying to hold, patience, right? Let it have her perfect work. But they're not trying to be perfect in patience to let it work. They already know. They're trying to devise a way not to get to the end. And the slow talk, you're not gonna drag me around. Don't do that. Don't do that in a day. Don't do that.
Well, how do you not know that that's not God ordained for you? Maybe the way they're doing it is not a right way, but the actual work that's being performed in you needs to take place. No matter how it's coming at you to work in you.
So you say what is coming at me for me to be patient to let them get to the end?
To hear the conclusion, like the word says, of the whole matter before you start to interject.
I've heard it in the spirit. I've heard it.
Lord Jesus. Okay.
I've heard it.
Okay.
I'm serious.
I know.
I heard it
And
in the spirit, and I can't.
You are very serious.
So why? So why am I gonna let you drag it? Oh, okay. Don't drag me in the spirit.
Okay.
I can't.
Amen.
No, we don't have that kind of time. Yes, Jay.
I just thought about patience when since we were talking about patience.
It's key.
Like, remember,
Mm-hmm.
I understand that I'm talking about it too. And when I got a meaning for it, like when you say like P dot myself, I got a meaning for it, like for patience, paying attention to important essence containing excitement.
All right. That's right. You pay attention to that.
Mhm.
Because in the end, I don't get excited about having to be drugged, having to wait and be drugged all the way down from here to Highway 31 all the way to I-65. and then you still hadn't told me, you still hadn't gotten to the end of what it was you trying to say. And you want me to stand there. I don't have that kind of time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And Lord, if that's what it is, work on me. Jesus, work on me, Lord. Anybody else? Mother, what's yours? You always sit there and look just like that, Mother.
I do, but like I said, two things in the wrong. So
What'd you say, Mother? No. This is not about anything that you've heard. This is about you yourself. This is about you. And we can't come into that place until we hear what you say. It's about you. What is it that you're doing that you're not supposed to do, and how is it that you want to stop it?
I would say not going.
Not going. Okay. If you don't go, then what?
Then
And ain't number one answer for that,
get
right?
up and move.
You have to get up and move. Amen. Get up and move. But this is the question. Because sometimes we often say so many times while we sit and while we're not moving, we always sit in that place and say, I'm going to. We'll say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it. I'm going to. And the longer we sit there and say that, night falls. And then we go to bed and wake up the next day and we come back in that same space and we all, 2 or 3 days, I'm gonna get up. Lord, I need to. Lord, I know I got to do that.
Amen.
And we continue to say things like that, even talk to ourselves, and then it's almost like it's almost like we comfort ourselves with that saying.
Yeah, but when I'm at home, I'm always moving. But when I like you were saying, I would say, okay, I need to go to the mailbox. I need to go to the dumpster, So something tell me you got to get up and go now. And so I just get up and go.
And whatever that something is that tell you that you need to get up and go now, Mother, if that's something, that something should be produced from that saying to you. If it prompted you to get up, then there's something on your path in your going. And those are the things. Those are the things that we come back. Those are the things that we bring back into the center. Those are the things that we share. And I'm not putting words in your mouth, because you should have your own story concerning it. That's why I love the Bible. But you know what? But I also love exactly what Jesus said. Now, and if we're disciples, we should, after they went out, after he sent them out, they came back. And they came back with what?
Stories.
They came back with stories. They came back with what happened to them. They came back with what they did. We come in and we go out and we come back in, and what? Where are the stories? What are we doing? Because we're not really coming in to be trained to be an effective disciple out there in the kingdom. Although that's what the training center is about. And how are we an effective disciple out there in the kingdom? We're able to live, and we're able to endure the encounters. We're able to live, and we're able to walk, and we're able to meet encounters. Encounters are able to meet us. There's got to be a story. If you're a disciple, you got a story. That's why Jesus had asked him. He said, now you can come, you can come back in here and you can tell me what they said, but who do you say? Who do you say? If I am your shepherd, who do you say I am?
Even when I go to the mailbox, not to dump, when I go to the mailbox, I get chips and put them in my hand in case I meet somebody on the way. But I never meet nobody on the way because nobody ever comes out.
But yet, Mother, you sit sometime, and I know you sit in your house, and I know you look out your window, and you can see different people as they walk past. But sometimes you might need to go from your couch in your house outside to your porch. And in that way, and I know how you are about cold, but I tell you what, I don't know which one you want to take, which one is the best for you, cold or hot. But I tell you what, I would be sitting out, I would go move from the couch, and I would go onto your little porch area, and people pass you. I mean, God has a way planned that your prayer be answered and you be the answer to somebody else's prayer. But if your prayers are not being answered, it's because you're not going. You're not going. You don't know who's before you that have the answer that you need. You don't know, because you have to, first of all, in order to get an answer, there has to have been a question. And we're always in the presence of God wanting something. Wanting him to do something.
That's right.
Asking him some stuff. Asking him to provide, to show us, to give us, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But your answer is not in the prayer. Your answer is on the path. And if you never walk the path, you'll never get the answer. That's why I say I love it. See, you need to have the story when you come in here to tell us who Jesus is in your life. What he has done. The week that you were out there. You need to be able to say who he is.
Amen.
Not tell me what somebody else said. Tell me who he is to you, in you. Toya, you.
Well, mine is hearing and heeding, just being obedient to what's being told. When I say that, instead of me just sitting in the house and hearing what it is that I need to do, because I don't know the end of the end of a thing, I'll sit there, I'll find something else to do versus getting up and moving.
Oh, you is rebellious.
Yes, ma'am.
So your
That's
thing
the
is
one.
rebellion. You see, that's what I'm saying. You got to say what it is. You say hearing and heeding. No, hearing and heeding is what you need to do. But what prevents that is your what you're not supposed to be is rebellious. See what I'm saying? Now you can talk. Go ahead. Say it from that. Your problem is not hearing and heeding. Your problem is getting past your rebellion.
Amen. Okay.
Because what was said that you already needed, it was already said. You heard it. Really, now the difference between hearing and receiving, before you can heed it, you didn't want to receive what it was you heard, but you heard it. But you refused to receive it, so then that made you rebellious in the place of being able to heed it. It makes you rebellious in the place in order to be able to have the intent, hearing with the intent to do. Let's say it like that. So now you can speak from that.
Wow.
So how do you stop? Now that's not what you're supposed to do, because see what's tied to rebellion.
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
Uh-oh. So are you a crafty witch? You ain't got to answer that. I'm just playing a play on words. Just a play on words.
I've tried to figure, and with that right there, because I've tried to figure out what it is. Okay, I'll hear what's been said, and if I can't see how the end of it comes out, then I do, like you crafty witch.
So you got to be able to
in
see.
my mind.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you got to be able to see. Okay, but see, and if it but Lord, I thank you. See, you got to be able to see your sight. And there it is. That's the place where you fight to stay blind, because if you can't see it for the end in which you want it to be, then you start working your craft. And you just shut down. I'm not gonna do it. But you don't say that. You just show it. Yeah. Okay. So how do you stop?
Being rebellious. I'm gonna say just do it.
Is it that simple?
I think
Well,
it is. If she
but my mind goes to being simple obedience versus the spiritual obedience. There's a difference.
There you go. There you go.
But removing, I just, when I say just keep from putting my mind in it, period. And I'm grateful that rebellion, that is the word, because I feel like I was like, okay, my own mind, that's what I was thinking. But no, that's rebellion, witchcraft, in my own sight.
But I believe too, even with simple obedience, because there's a pattern, you got to start somewhere. And if you have a sincere desire to change, even if it's simple obedience, God will, if he sees your desire, he will transform you in the simple obedience to the spiritual obedience. All you have to do is put the effort in doing it and going.
Here it is though. You have children that just simply obey without even understanding the spirit. And I understand that you talk about a pattern, but I'm just saying, because see, let me tell you something. I believe this with all that's in me when it talks about this weight being so tight. Mm-hmm. I really and truly do. Whereas when we have walked for 14 years, mm-hmm. and we today still trying to start at the simple in order to get to the spiritual. Are you serious? Come on. So what is this saying? Are you always going to be at a level that you always at the start of a thing? No.
God forbid.
You're right. God forbid. So in 14 years, don't tell me that you should not have a pattern already developed of simple obedience that has already transformed into spiritual obedience.
Amen. In that regard, I can agree with that. But at the end,
there's no buts.
Okay.
Ain't no buts.
I understand.
Ain't no buts. We are not novices. We're not beginners here.
But we're talking about stopping doing things. But we're not perfect just yet. That's why we're still here. We're in our perfecting course. We're
need
journeying.
To be practicing.
Exactly. We're journeying on. So, but I'm just in rebellion though. Rebellion won't allow you to go forward. It'll keep you in a certain spot. Just let me finish, please.
That's what you were saying, and I understood all of that. My question was, how do you go forward? How do you get to the opposite side of where you are? End of story.
And she said, by just doing. And you said, but do you do that? Then what is the answer? Because in just doing, it is simple obedience. If the spirit now has not fully connected in whoever, I'm not even talking about her, but whoever this is plaguing, if you're trying to escape rebellion, and so we know the Spirit of God has not turned you into spiritually obedient. If you're still rebellious, if you're trying to escape rebellion, you are in simple obedience. If you continue on with a desire now for change, I understand repentance. But we're not talking about a reprobate.
Oh, you was talking. I was just writing. I was talking from what I was hearing. Go ahead.
My thing is this: we know if I'm in rebellion and I make a change, I make a choice today.
Stop. Because if you remain in this, this is where you're going.
Exactly. But don't nobody want to turn into a reprobate. So my question is, if just simply doing is not the answer, what is the answer? Not for us. I'm talking about for people, anybody. What's the answer for it?
Well, I believe that there are people that have not even been in the way for 14 years plus. That when they come in with a heart to know. Mm-hmm. Then whenever the training go forward, they'll take it in. Why? Just like she said, because they can't see it, neither do they want to see it their way.
Amen. Well, we're not talking
and if you can just take it simply, if you can just take it for what it is, what you need to see is use the faith of the word that's given to you. So you'll be able to see, not with your sight, but you will be able to see the end, and that end is the ending in Him, in God. not the way you want to come out, not the way you want to work it, not the way you sit and you listen and you say, well, okay, I didn't receive that. Okay, but that sounded pretty good. That sounded right. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. See, it's just like you said, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you said. I shall not want my own mind.
Right.
My own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Neither, and in having this right here, if you ain't careful, then time will lapse.
Mm-hmm.
And you will see it or not see it the way you want it to come out.
Okay. So that's
So-
how you get out of rebellion.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
That's all I was asking.
that's it. Now it's showing you.
My biggest difficulty is just my thoughts. My thoughts whenever I hear things, whenever I see things, the thought that comes to my mind constantly allows me to know that I just need to be renewed, because the things that come to my mind at first are not things that belong to the mind of Christ. My opinions, but the way I feel about it, and I know from every action that is given, it comes from your mind first, it comes from your heart first. So yeah, my first thoughts is what I suffer with, and I don't want my first thoughts to be anything else other than God. So I know I need to be renewed,
Let me say this,
and Him to arrest my thoughts.
and you can take that from the word.
Right.
I can tell you a lot. Well, let me say it like this. First, he said, he knows our what?
Thoughts on
Down
our-
sitting
oh, yeah.
and our uprising. And he understands. He understands our thoughts
Mhm.
that are afar off.
Right.
Now, my prayer, but does it happen like that all
Mhm.
the time? No. My prayer is, God, clean my thoughts up
Right.
before it even come to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
It don't work like that. It don't work. So you know what? What I learned was the thoughts have to come to my heart before my heart can be clean.
Amen.
So first thoughts is a place, I believe, whereas you can, and then it tells casting down.
Imagination.
Come on.
Right.
But
And every
you don't have nothing to cast down if it don't.
Come.
And all of that is still a part of how he is going to deal with us, how he's going to cleanse our heart, how iniquity can be stripped from us.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, first thoughts, sometimes because God knows what's in us, is a needful thought.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need to know what God sees.
Right. Yes, it does.
We need to know, hallelujah, what he sees that he's not accepting.
Amen. It doesn't. It shows me how dirty.
Yes.
Like I would like to believe one thing about myself, but those thoughts really show me who I truly am. And sometimes in a time crunch, though, whenever a response is immediate and it needs to be done at that time, I don't want my first thought to be something that is not appropriate. You get what I'm trying to say? That because a reaction must come at that time.
But even if it is, see, that's what you won't get concerning that. Even if it is, in the place that, the reaction, it was given. Okay, that's done. You may not have to even go any place too far from it before God start dealing with your heart
Right.
concerning what was done. See, because we got to get this, y'all. In order for us not to have no spots, no blemishes, any such wrinkles, it has to come forth to us, to come out of us.
Mm-hmm.
Before we understand, oh my God, I possessed that.
Mm-hmm.
That was in me. Yes. We got to stop trying to live holy and get to the place where we can be holy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tell us live holy for I am holy. He said be ye holy for I am holy.
Mm-hmm.
So coming into being holy will cause us to come out and cause these other things that's in us that keeps us from being perfected as holy it'll cause those things to come up in us
Mhm.
and to come out of us in whatever way it has to.
But what I think and it just goes back to what you were saying, like it's 14 years, at least with you, we've been 14 years, but even before you, like this has been all my life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm caught sometimes at places where I should be advanced from. I should be far away from that place. You understand what I'm saying? And I shouldn't continue on in the same way, compassed about the same thing over and over again. I should have graduated from this place.
I understand. I agree. And even on this morning, I was in my house and I was writing in the book, and I had to write about the death of Danielle, and I had to give that a topic. Well, Tony gave it a topic for me right before my eyes, and I understood what it meant, and I began to write it. I began to write it. That came with nothing, and I think that even in that, listen, I guess the word for me that I got to give you, and I'll continue to say it, everything that I've heard you say on today, everything, don't be disheartened. Don't be disheartened, Toya. Don't even look like you want to cry. Don't. That's not it. That's not what God would have for us.
Amen.
That's not it. But this is a word that I will never, since it came into my heart, I've been saying it, and God will never let it leave me. And I will continue to give it to you all, and until you get the understanding for real. Another release.
Amen.
And I find out that the more I can deal with myself in truth, the freer I am becoming.
That's right.
Amen.
I'm becoming freer. And the freeness, oh my God, that I'm experiencing, it's not in hatred, it's not in anger, it's in love. Because I understand that every time I'm able to deal, and I deal in truth, I understand that it's another release. It's another release.
That's right.
And what comes into that place is joy. Joy.
Amen.
And I was thinking this morning in the home, and I was saying, this kind of brought tears to my eyes, because sometimes I just think about the roughness. And when I say the roughness, I'm thinking about the things that has come and things that continue to come. And I'm not overwhelmed by it, but I just simply said this morning, I said, oh my God, I said, God, I said, sometimes, I said, I'm just ready to cash it all in. I'm just ready to go.
We talking about go to heaven?
I'm talking about leave here. I'm ready to go.
Like heaven?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't say that.
Well, one thing you say I can't say that, but I understand that sometimes if my focus is on that, I know I got to be a certain way to get there.
There you go.
And that thing will bring me in, bring me back in line, and I don't care everything that's in my heart at the time. I can repent, man. It's okay. Yes, I can, because I can leave you, because I have left you. I have given unto you God.
Amen.
That's your inheritance. That's all I got to leave.
Amen.
She didn't get that scripture all twisted up. It said your inheritance. It said, no, it didn't. It said, a good man leaveth an inheritance for his children's children.
Amen.
Ain't no houses, ain't no cars, ain't no land. It's God in them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a good man. Are you a good man? I'm a good man.
Amen.
So she said, I can't leave her. I have left her. I have left her the inheritance. And if she want to come up and catch me, she got to use what I left.
Amen. I felt that thing.
She felt that
I
thing.
did a little bit.
You got to use it.
That's right.
Hey, this one right here, if they got it showing up, they won't squander it. Ooh, they won't squander this inheritance. But I guarantee you they'll be able to build upon it. And they'll keep on building. And they'll have so much when they leave that they can leave it for their children's children.
That's right.
It's all right. What do you do to stop doing what you're not supposed to do? God bless y'all on the day. This has been training session 2 all the way down in Prattville, Alabama. Crossroads Christian Ministries, where I, Apostle Cheryl, taught training session 2. God bless.